Muslim, Christian, Jew, Hindu, Buddhist, and atheist one too, and all in between. This is for the absolute positive, good God and truth of your lives, only crossing absolutely bigger and better. I'd like to show you what no science will teach you, what no religion will preach to you, and what no law enforcements understand. And it's to only cross all you are of negativity back one more positive. It's the only way you can add up, stay, or be good as truth. And it's the only absolute bigger, better here and now of you. And what does it mean? It means that your body and your life is made of matter. And this matter is the flesh of you applied to the reality check of all physical matter of you, okay? And without you and the world around you, right, coming back to a more positive way always than a negative way, right, it's no good as truth for you or the world around you. And because, like I said, no religion preaches it, no science teaches it, and no laws respect it, right? It's not always that way. And because it's not always that way, it's always negative of it at any time to the good God and truth of us. And it's always through a lie of faith. And I, again, will explain this to you. If you look all around you from the inside out at 360 degrees, right? It's all, the buildings, trees, you, me, everybody of everything is made of atom matter evolved. Now, anywhere this matter is stated more positive than negative, right? It's stated good as truth. And it can't be destroyed to the reality check of its shape, form, and mass. What does that mean? That means that if you know that anything negative in your life, right, you need to just cross back more positive. That will always add you up good as truth. You will always be the bigger and better negativity. You can't be destroyed for that. And because you don't know that, because the world around us doesn't know that, and our leadership doesn't apply to that, right? In reality, it is the decay, disintegration, the negative suffering, imbalance, decay, and disintegration, and death of everybody, of everything, mankind. I want to show you something. If you're the leadership, again, over all mankind, right? And you state that the world, right, around you crosses bad, evil, and sinful. And you take this negative way, right? Because all that stuff is just negative, right? And instead of crossing it back more positive to make all you are good as truth to the reality check of mankind, you take and you build prisons, wars, jails, right? The conflicts and convicts of us, right? Well, that's just negative with negativity. And anytime you cross negative with negativity as a man or a woman, you can only do it through faith, right? Because all else is just crossing more positive than that to keep things good as truth, right? And it's the devilish hells of all things. And like I said, it is the decay and disintegration, the suffering and death of everybody, of everything to reality check. But it's even more than that. Like I've spoken in my last videos, right? My last couple videos, right? Your atoms are made of protons and neutrons, okay? The protons are 2 up quarks of energy, 1 down quark, and the neutrons 2 down quarks of energy and 1 up quark, okay? Now, on the outside of the atom, right, is the electron field, okay? And when you go through this life, right, you have to either take on reality more positive or negative to the good God and truth of your shape, form, mass. But if you don't even know this is the way you're supposed to be expressed, it's always negative to you, okay? And here's the thing about it, right? Everything that's more positive than negative, right, is stated good as truth. It's the only way you can add up, state, or be good as truth. And it's the more protonic way of you, right? Okay? Well, anything good, right, better be more positive than negative to you, right? Anything good is the God of it. I mean, we say, oh, that's good, that's God, right? And we only say it because it's more positive than negative to you. That's the truth of God of you, right? Okay? And that's also the Holy Spirit of God of you. And like I told you, if any atom matter evolved is more positive than negative, right? It's stated good as truth and can't be destroyed, okay? How can it be destroyed or be more positive than negative? That states you good as truth, you see? In reality, that doesn't happen, okay? Unless you go splat with the negativity, you can always do something more positive to the here and now of you to add up good as truth to be the bigger and better of it. And if you do go splat with the negativity, you were just negative with the negativity. You understand what I'm saying? There was nothing more positive about you to keep you good as truth, and that's just reality, okay? And here's the thing about it, right? If you are the leadership, right? And I have to say this because it's a selling out of the world, man. It's the selling out of all mankind. Not for us to be stated this way, but if you are the leadership, right, or the governance over us, and you state that things cross bad, evil, and sinful, and you don't know that this is just all negativity, and you're crossing more negative with negativity, creating jails, prisons, wars, victims, and crooks, right? Without bringing all these things back only to an absolute positive, bigger and better for your judgment, right? And your governance, man. Well, that means that your judgment and your governments, right, is unqualified. Listen, nobody and nowhere in existence, right, wants their government or their judgment around them, right, to be the destructive, disruptive death of them by example, and that's all you can be if you're not bringing your example to a more positive to state all you are good as truth in reality. Now, this don't mean that you're some sort of pacifist fool and that you don't care about the reality check of the negatives. No, it's the only way you can destroy anything negative. Listen, if anybody tells you they want to be tough on crime, there's only one way to do it, and it's to be more positive than the negatives of you, man. It's to bring back whatever negative way that you call bad, evil, or sinful, right? More positive than that for all bodies involved. Because if you don't, in reality check, you are no kind of leadership, man. You're not tough on crime. You're just insane and deranged with the negativity. You are the problem. It is your judgment that is totally wrecking all God's reality check. You are the reason why the crime rate, why the governance of your area is corrupt and wrong, man. It's an oxymoron on you. You're an oxymoron of it. You know what I'm saying? Not to call anybody any names, but think about it. Listen to me. In reality, if you want to be tough on crime and you don't want crime to exist, you don't build more jails, prisons, and wars. You know what I mean? You don't state more victims and crooks, man. No, you don't do that. You bring whatever it is of a negative in front of your governance or your judgment to a more positive, bigger, better way, and you spare no expense to only make people's lives good for you as truth. Listen to me. In reality check, nobody, right? Nobody wants to keep acting dysfunctional if they know that, one, their governments only care to make their lives better, right? By a good example as truth. And on top of it, right, it's because this example is never set. You know, okay, we say, if you got enough money, you can bond out. Okay, that's more positive and negative for you. If you got enough money, right, you can buy your way out of trouble. Well, that's more positive than negative for you. If you know somebody in power, you can get away with it. That's more positive than negative for you. By the way, Trump, I could use about $10 million out of that 250 you're suing yourself for. I'm gonna keep it real with you, because I got some people over here that are just awful, man. You hear me? That are totally against me and they're totally doing wrong things that I've been at the FBI about. Because in reality check, you see, I'm gonna keep it 100% real with you. I ain't no kind of awful person. If you want to know the real of it, I'm the thief of God of all God, truth reality check. I'm here to steal the fiber of anything negative, man, to keep existing, man. So we can only do more positive and good for that. But man, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Listen to me. If you don't know that it is absolute suicide to cross negative and negativity, you won't respect that. You won't. There's no boundaries, no good boundaries. It's true for you. You think the world's bad, evil, and sinful, right? So you're a middleman, right? Buckmaker to it with the jails, prisons, and wars. I mean, I don't care. I don't care if you're the prosecutor. I don't care if you're the judge. I don't care if you're the clerk. I don't care if you're the governor. I don't care if you're the mayor. I don't care if you're just the jailer or the bailiff. Listen to me, man. If you agree, right, to serve this system that crosses negative with negativity, man, you are absolutely committing suicide to it and teaching it to all that you love and cherish and hate. Don't ever hate. Listen to me. And I'll explain to you again how this happens, man. When your matter, right, which is the neutrons of you, the matter and soul of you, is not more protonic, more positive to keep your body and matter good as truth, right? And you can't be more positive than negative by being negative to other people, okay? When it's not that way, the only way you can cross negative with negativity is through the faith of you, okay? It's a snake from positive energy to negative energy always, because it's always less than what's good as true for you. There's no faith that's absolutely positive and good as truth. If there was, it'd only be the positive, good God and truth of you. It wouldn't be the faith of you. But when you cross more positive than negative always, it's the good truth of you. And it's the faith of nothing of you. See, if you know to only cross more positive than negative always, it will only add you up. The only way you can add up, stay, or be good as truth, right? To an absolute bigger, better of your life here and now, alive and well, right? Well, what do you need faith for? You don't. You don't have to have faith for that. But because you don't know that, right? It's a faithful police state all around America and all around the world. And I'm going to keep it 100% real, which is those days are coming to an end. Because what I'm teaching you, right, is a golden age of thought for your minds, through your body, to the world. It'll save you. It'll save your children. And it'll also save all that come in contact with your judgment and your lives, right? Because in reality, I'm going to explain to you the flaw of it if I haven't already done it and you haven't already comprehended it. Listen to me. That neutron inside of your atoms, okay, is the soul and the matter of you. And when it's not stated more protonic, good as truth, the only thing it can be stated with is faith. You see what I'm saying? If you're not good as truth always, more positive than negative, the only way you can be living is with faith, okay? So, and that faith is always negative to the good truth of it. And when you cross with faith, right, that neutron, right, the neutrons of you, right, they can't stay stable, more protonic than the negative charge of them, okay? And what happens is, it's not only the devilish hells of all people, places, and things to cross negative with negativity, but it's also the decay and disintegration of every body, of everything matter, okay? And like on the outside of an atom, right, when a neutron isn't stabilized more protonic, right, by itself, or even in a neutron star, a pulsar, it pulsates with energy from positive to negative until the matter becomes so unstable that it collapses on itself, right, into a black hole abyss, like I said in other videos. And like Philip asked, he said, how come they can't be saved? He's talking about the folks in the outer darkness, the abyss of us. And the response was, it's because they didn't desire it. Listen to me, man. You have to desire for life and for all you are to be more positive than negative. And if you don't even have a mind to do that because you think this world crosses bad, evil, or sinful, you're always committing suicide to it. And you're always leaving that example for all you love, cherish, and are. And that's why I've contacted the FBI over this, because in reality, right, I'm getting railroaded in my own personal life, right, with it. And I'm getting hated on for it, you hear me? And I have some things against me that are totally unreal that I can totally prove. But because this system's so biased, man, in reality, right, they're making me fight with all my might, right? Just to be the good man that I am, that I have consistently been for years and years and years. I want to show you something. We can talk religion, but this isn't religion. This is God, truth, the reality check, okay? Now, like I said, when those neutrons turn into a pulsar and the matter of them can't be sustained because the energy's so erratic, they collapse into a black hole abyss, okay? Of the matter of the neutron star, and it's the infinite one nothing of it here and now, okay? Just negative of it here and now, okay? Forevermore. And this is what you do to your matter when you cross negative with negativity, right? A snake of faith, the energy of faith on the neutrons of you over a volume of time, right? Or extremes. It causes your body and your matter to collapse into a black hole abyss with the devilish hells of you. The only way you can, the only way you can die, the only way you can suffer, the only way you can be in decay and disintegration is negative with negativity. You hear me? And it is the bad, evil, sinful judgment of you. You hear me? And if you're some sort of leadership, man, and you're crossing us with prisons, jails, and wars, man, conflicts and convicts, it's the absurdity and the suicide of you always to the one nothing of you here, just infinitely negative of you here now with the devil's hells of you. You hear me? And like I said, Philip asked, why can't they be saved? And it's because you did not desire it. You sold yourself out as the middlemen, bushwhackers of us. You got to know. I don't care who you are. You could say that these people are hardened criminals, or these folks are not deserving of kindness and this and that. But this is all things from your own heart. You see? These are all things that you use just to sell out your fellow man as a middleman bushwhack on us. And in reality, this logic and this understanding ain't having none of you no more. You hear me? And as a fact of my own life, God, truth, the reality check, I'm not having no more of you anymore. And Donald Trump, I could use that $10 million until you get right and figure it out your damn self. And everybody else, man, God bless you. You hear me? And I swear, I'm glad I got a hold of the FBI like I did, because this is wrong. This is horrifically wrong. And we have to change it. Listen, we have to change it. We can't just keep running around killing ourselves out to nothing, right? Biased slaves to whacked out minds in reality, hallucinating, nutty, and fruity that things cross bad, evil, and simple, and not identifying that these things are just negative. Because a lot of people aren't selling themselves out as shady middlemen. These are people that really want to help society, and they're a part of law enforcement, and they're a part of the criminal justice system because they want people's lives to be fair. They want people's lives to be good. Well, here's how you make it happen, you see? And this is why I had to go to the FBI over my own county and my own officials, because these people tried to throw me under a bus with lies. I mean, nothing true. It's all lies, you see? And because things are still going on in the courts, I can't say what those lies are, but no, in reality, they're all lies. You see, and anybody who ever wants to investigate them, they will know that those lies are lies, you hear me? But we as people, man, if we're not rich or we're not powerful, we have no protection from anybody who is powerfully with money, you see, and it's wrong. It's a horrific thing on people's lives and people's families, especially when they're innocent and they're just getting through under the bus for bias, man, absolute bias, you know. In my case, maybe it's because the things I did when I was young, you know. When you're young, you're foolish. I was, or maybe it's what I'm saying online to you, or maybe it's the act in which I'm being accused of. Who knows? But none of it's real. None of it's true. It's just some sort of haterade, man. You hear me? And I'm having none of it, man. I'm having none of it no more. Listen, God, truth reality check. Love your neighbor like you love yourself. It's the substance, durability, and solidness to do more positive than negative always. It is the only way you can add up, stay, or be good as truth, man. You hear me? It's the only good way as truth of your life, only crossing to an absolute bigger, better here and now of your matter of shape, form, and mass to the reality check of you. It's all that I am, right? And you know something, the only reason why I'm this way is because, man, I looked on my children, man, my son when he was born, and I was scared to death. And you think if I was scared to death then, I'm really scared to death now, man. The way I'm having to fight with my local officials just to be a good man, you see? And it's insanity. It's crazy. I'm scared to death, you see? Not for the sake of me, but for the sake of my children, for the sake of your children, for the sake of your lives. See, I've come to a higher understanding of the world around me years ago. So even at its worst, I have a better enlightened way about me than just crossing negative and negativity over it. You see what I'm saying? Not to say I'm not blindsided with negativity like the next fool, or it doesn't have a real reality around me. It does, and I have to navigate these things, and this is why I do this, man, because I don't want my children to ever have to deal with these things like I have to, and I don't ever want nobody else's families or children or the poverty of this world, man, to keep existing on people's lives and hollow lies just to be able to be screamed, you see. Because this is nonsense, you see. I want to explain something to you. In this world, right, we scream that, oh, this person's bad, this person's evil, this person's sinful, right? And we teach each other that's okay to do, right? Lock them up, blah, 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 this and that, right? And last thing we're screaming is, have mercy, be kind, man. Make these fools get along, you see. Figure out why this is happening this way. No, it's none of that. You see what I'm saying? There's none of that happening. You see, and it's atrocious. It's atrocious. Listen to me. I want to explain something to you about a lawyer and a judge and a prosecutor. These are all people, they're one same, and they're all different articulations of the same person. You see what I'm saying? At different parts, different aspects of that lawyerism. And these people's minds, they don't work like a layman's minds. And they don't work like a layman's mind for a reason. They don't make their money that way. You understand what I'm trying to say? So at any time you could get through under the bus if you're not very careful about how you deal with these folks, man. Like I said, if you don't have money, influence, or power, you could be up shit creek without a paddle. You understand? And this is why I contacted the FBI, because these folks, along with their investigators, are atrocious where I'm from. I can't even lie to you. If you knew what I was talking about, you would shame these people to no end. You would shame them. You would shame them. And, sometimes in reality, right, people need to be shamed. And it's not to make them negative. No, it's to make them positive. It's to say, hey, man, this is no way to be. Not not smeared. There's a difference between being smeared and shamed. I'm being smeared. You know what I'm saying? No, they need to be shamed. Listen, this is no way to be. It's no good as truth. We have to bring back life and liberty and justice to a more positive, bigger, better way than this old goofy nonsense you people are selling us, man. It's so unevolved and so draconian, you see. Listen, the same, it's absurd. It's the law of the land is absurd around where I'm from, and it's absurd anywhere where there's a police state, right, of faith, right, stating that you are bad, evil, or sinful. And it's absurd because in reality, right, if these people aren't only making your lives more positive than negative for you, they are the negative of your life, you see? They are that by example. And you can say what you want, but nobody in this whole entire world, right, is better because you send them to jail or prison. Nobody is safer for this. You see what I'm saying? Nobody becomes more loving or productive people over it. No, they become slaves to you. They're slaves. Okay, I don't want to get no more trouble. I don't want to, So they're a slave to you, but in reality, they're no better for you. You hear me? And your lives are no better for them. And this is why we die. This is why we suffer out, and it's ridiculous. And like I said, no science teaches it. No religion preaches it. No laws respect it. But the state of one more positive than negative is the only light, joy, warmth, good God or truth, holy with spirit, for everlasting with peace, all of all will ever know or be. It's the state that all of all in body of matter is stated good to the truth of God, their shape, form, mass, only crossing to an absolute bigger, better here and now of them in reality. And without knowing this, right, you are always living an unevolved existence, man. Killing yourself to one neutral, nothing, just negative of you here and now, man, in reality. And it's no good as truth. Listen to me. It's beneath us. And no matter how you feel about a person or how you feel about an issue, man, if you're not bringing this person or that issue in your life back to a more positive, bigger, better, always, to the good truth of everybody, of everything involved, man, your judgment is unqualified. Your governance is unqualified, and you are being exposed. And you're not just being exposed by me because I'm giving this information to the FBI. I'm giving this information not only online. As soon as I can get it printed out, I'm taking it to the streets because I'm not having this no more. This is ridiculous. Watching people, I want to say something to you. No matter who you are, where you're at, or what you've done in your life, you are unique to all creation of existence. Your life matters. You're not just a number. You're not just a person that doesn't matter, man. You matter, if not to you, to me. And I'm gonna keep it real with you. You can't be replaced. You see, you can't be replaced. You know. And if you don't know, man, that the only thing destroying you is the faith of this world, right? Crisscrossing you, a snake of energy on your matter, right? Negative and negativity. Man, you're blindly killing yourself to one nothing. And that one nothing is just infinitely negative of you here now, what the devil tells of you. And I'll fight with all my might, all my heart, all my mind, all my soul. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you've done. I don't care if it's been directly to me or it doesn't matter. I will do the best I can to always make your life more positive than being destroyed with negativity, because I know one thing for certain, two things for sure. If I can make your life more positive than negative, and you can make somebody else's life more positive than negative, we'll all be good eventually. You see what I'm saying? And the people who can't bring their existence back that way, well, we won't have to worry about them much longer, because within a couple generations, they won't exist. You hear me? Because you can't cross negative with negativity without it eventually just destroying you over time or through extremes. And that's just a fact of God, check. And if our governance and our leadership don't get that, it's just because they're unqualified or they're sold out. And I'm no longer having it. My whole existence has come up against it, and it's came up against it with lies, man. Nothing true, not nothing real, not nothing with any substance. You hear me? But with lies, man. You hear me? I mean, I'm being railroaded. You hear me? I'm not having it. I'm not having it. Get all the FBI and tell Trump, man, loan me some money. I need to get out of all these troubles, man. You hear what I'm trying to tell you? Because it ain't right. You see what I'm saying? Best thing I ever did was see that dude pardon all them people. A lot of people don't like Trump, but I ain't one of them guys. I never was a never Trumper. Now, I may have things I don't enjoy about him, you know, and I'll speak my piece. But listen, I didn't bite my tongue with Joe Biden or none of them. Especially none of them. Ever since, Obama was in office. The first time Trump was in there, man, he knows it. He knows I ain't having none of him. But it ain't because I don't like them or I don't want them to do good or I don't even want them to be leaders. I just want them to be good leaders. I want to be good people. And, you know, my kids and my family and my life, man, is directly affected by this. You hear me? And not just mine, the world of us is. You hear me? So, you know, now's the time to step up for me. I'm stepping up for all of you. You see? I put myself under a curse for you, but in reality, this curse is a blessing. I tell you what, it's the best damn curse you could ever be under. You see what I'm saying? Because in reality, I know this. I can sleep at night and I can look my children in the face and I can say, hey, I love you and I've done all I can to make your lives good. And I'll do anything I can to make the world around you a better place, you see. And I can totally make peace with that. You see what I mean? Look, like I said in my last video, you can tell an animal, you know, sit, lay. If it's smart or it's somewhat tamed, you say sit, lay, good boy, good girl, stay. You can tell basic things like that, but you'll never ever tell that animal to go do something more positive than negative. It's the only way it can add up, stay, or be good as truth. It's the only substance, durability, and solidness of its existence. That animal will never get that. You understand? And if our leadership and governments and the judgment of us don't get that, man. You know, they're just living and dying like animals, and they got us doing the same thing by example. And I'm not going to sit in the dark with that example. I'm not going to let them, us, or you, mankind, die out like that. If I can help it, I have a greater knowledge, and that I am a bigger, better man than that. You see, for my own children and for you and for your life. Your lives matter to me. You know, I'll do all that I can with all that I am for you. Let's see, what else was I? Okay. You're half male and you're half female, okay? Well, anything that isn't protonic about you, right, that's energy, right, is the female of you. And anything that is protonic about you, right, is the male of you. And just like when you plug a plug into the wall, right, the male energy of you, right, or the male energy of it better outweigh anything female as far as the matter of it goes, because if not, you'll burn the whole spot down, or you just won't have enough energy, right, to sustain it, and or to sustain whatever electronics you're trying to plug in. And this is what you do to your body. If you don't keep yourself more positive than negative always, right? Either you're putting too much energy into your body and you're burning it out, right? Or you won't have enough energy to function. You're growing old and you're feeling dilapidated for it. You see what I'm saying? But if you just keep yourself consistently more positive than negative, right? What does that mean? If you feel any negativity, right? Just do whatever you can within your reality of the here and now to be more positive. The only way you can add up, stay, or be good is truth, right? You will be, and there is absolutely zero chance you can burn down your house that way, or your body will burn out or not have enough energy to sustain itself. You were not created to die. You're not an animal. You were not created to suffer We are not created to be destroyed. And like I said in my other videos, right? At one time, the earth was a true sister reflection, right, of the sun with pyramids all over all. And the Bible speaks about the men of old, but, all over the earth, from China to Russia to Mexico to America, India, right? Were pyramids. And the water of the earth back then was geysered from underground. I don't know if the oceans existed in the way that they do, or if the water even came to the surface of the earth. But they harnessed it, right? And it was free energy. And anyways, to make a long story short, everywhere there was a pyramid, right? There was the men of old, okay, or the god kings and queens. Let's say men of old, but it was god kings and queens, okay. And the Egyptians' history talks about their kings reigning for thousands and thousands of years. The Samaritans talk about their kings reigning for hundreds of thousands of years. And I'm pretty sure if you got into the history of other civilizations that haven't been covered up or lost, you would find that is exactly what was going on with them. And they try to state that these pyramids were from different timelines and this and that, and maybe some of them are, but for the most part, right? Listen to me. The earth was set up that way, and the only way the earth can stay stable for life, for humanity, for any living creature on it, right, is to be more positive than negative, you see? And if not, right, the matter of the earth is too neutronic and it can't sustain its own life force, you see, its own way. It's just in a negative state of being more positive and protonic. And it's the same with your body. And it's the same. Listen to me. If you don't know this, right, you're always crisscrossing to a black hole abyss on your matter, a he shaft of the devil. And this is what happened to us, man. They call it Yada Bayoff. They say it's Samuel. They say it's all these articulations of the devil from the Muslims, Christians, Jews, Hindus, Buddhists of you. But it's also, these devils are the gods of you. Look, in the garden, right, they say Yahweh was the God of the garden, right? And he's the one who banished Adam and Eve. Man, this guy was horrifically evil. I don't even like to use that word. He was negative as hell. And it was just because he was lacking a more positive way to state them good as true, because he was ate up with negativity. And let me tell you something. It was Shiva. And Shiva had shafted the world, man. And everywhere he broke up the continents, okay. He put dominion with his Nagas, okay. And all the way up to the modern age, if it's a ruling dynasty, right, that's where it came from. You see, when the angels went to Mount Hermon, it was because they become too ancestral, right? And they had to find new inhabitants to breed with, and they all come together to do it. It's a whole big story and thing. And if you look back in through my posts, you will understand this. And this is how they kept the power. And it's all been one big power trip, right? And they overthrew the earth, you see, because the earth was like a Tesla ball. You see, they used the pyramids to harness the energy of the sun to not only create free energy, but as a force field of the earth, right, to deflect anything in space. And it was all destroyed. We were he shafted. 7 days of us. Adam came to himself in the garden. He was the God and the king of the men of old. He's eons and eons old. He was the first of all of them. And anyways, to make a long story short, right, he couldn't get bearings on reality. He turned to the faith of the inhabitants of them gardens, which was just men and women that were he shafted by a devilish way of faith. Fools, right? Try to take over the world, men and women. And this is what he went to the inhabitants of it. He looked up and he seen Eve when he got his bearings, when he woke up, and her light shining on him, right, more positive then his negatives is what attracted him to her, and he was able to be led astray through the faith of her because he couldn't remember who he was. All he knew is he was an Adamic man, and he was created never to be destroyed, only good as truth. But he didn't know how to get his bearings back on reality. And for 930 years, he suffered it and he died of it. And like I said, he was eons old prior to that. That's why when he comes to the garden, he was a grown man. You see what I'm saying? And it wasn't Eve's fault. Eve was just part of the inhabitants there. That was a lesser life form than the people in the garden, which was Yada-Baoth, Samuel, Shiva. They're all one same. Okay, they're all one shafting God. They say in the reality of the rulers or on the origins of the world, 360 demons made the body of Adam. No, they didn't make Adam, but what they did is they shafted every day of the week, every day of the year, 360 days a year, 7 days a week, and they took what was one continent and they divided it up 7 ways, and it's just a whole bunch of bogusness, and that's why none of them exist. Only their faithful ways, man, with their descendants acting unevolved just like they did with their power trip today. Listen, if you can't understand that the only thing that can destroy you is negativity, and you have to cross this back more positive always to be good as truth, right? It's how the world and the sun is set up. It's how your body of matter of your atoms is set up through your protons and neutrons. It's how the world around you, all physical matter is set up. You have to keep it more positive and negative to keep it good as truth. You won't make it. But as soon as you figure that out, you're good. That's the truth. And if you're the leadership of us and you think that you're just going to keep stating some bad, evil, sinful way, you've got another thing coming. Because I'm not having none of you. I don't believe the FBI is having none of you. I don't believe anybody with any good sense anymore is having any of you. So my advice to you is change. And if you're in my city and you're in my neck of the woods and you're really trying to throw me under the bus with lies, you better change. Because them lies is coming home to roost on you. Because in reality, I'm a good man. You hear me? And I do good things. And I inspire folks to be the bigger and better than all negativity. I ain't having none of you. You hear me? I don't sit in the dark like no fool. I'm not scared to say it. I'm not scared to say the things that are the truth. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to be smeared out by foul, hollow lies. You understand what I'm trying to say? It ain't going to work. And that's the fact of God of this, man. That's God, truth, the reality check. From the full thief man, God and King of all mankind, creation of existence I am. How can I not be? That's God. That's truth. That's a reality check. Peace.